It's benefits. Okay, so benefits, these people are like absolute experts in like the VA. They are not the VA. They are your advocates to help for your VA rating, for like stuff like the PACT Act, you know, retro payments. I'm not saying they're going to get you all of that stuff, but if you have trouble like filing your VA claims, or you need help advocating for yourself, or like, hey, I really think I deserve this because of whatever, but the VA is telling me no. These are the people to talk to. Again, this isn't 100% guarantee that they're going to go in and be like, oh, this person deserves 100% permanent total, and they're like, oh, all right, sounds good. That's not how this works, right? There needs to be, you know, good reason for it, and that's what you work with them about.
So since I'm new to this program and I don't know anything yet.
Yeah, totally.
I can do a benefit service because of
Well, is there something? Is there something that I said that made you be like, oh, I need help with that?
No, not necessarily, but I don't know what benefits that they can help me with.
Okay. That's fine.
I mean, just being new to the program.
Right. So, I mean, do you know if you need help with anything from the VA, or like, is there anything that you've been like, I need to submit paperwork on this, or?
Yes, and I need help with travel, understand travel, how to file for travel, and all that stuff. That's the
Right. It's more like your benefits and not necessarily like trip.
Having like TSA care travel?
No, it's like beneficiary travel, they call it. So if you go to an appointment,
So I live like 45 minutes from the VA hospital.
right?
You can use an app.
It's filed in for reimbursement. It's like
Yeah,
Right.
and the VA will tell you just go online. I think my best bet
They
to
told
that,
me and I tried it.
I'll help you with that. And I think there's a lot of information that we can share among us. I don't know
Totally.
if there's another place that we can do it. Because I'm actually going to do a video on that, because I just went through something similar and I had to go to the VA a lot to ask him, okay, can you help me with this? Okay, it's not letting me do it. It's having issues. Right. Right. So I'll help you how to do it, because I went through the struggle of it, but I'm going to make a video instructional kind of, and I'll share it too.
Cool. That's how. No, you're totally good. And honestly, I can sit up here and tell you about like what they can do. But if you're like, hey, I've talked to a benefits person, they've helped me with X, Y, and Z. You can share your stories, because I can tell you these things. I was never in the service, right? I worked for the Army for a few years, but I don't know all the things with the VA and stuff. So yeah, if you guys can help each other, yeah, give each other your phone numbers or whatever it is, and you guys want to talk to each other, you can do that. So, yeah. All right, so then next one is we have our WWP Talk, or Wounded Warrior Project Talk team. So this is a mental health source or resource for you guys, and it is somebody that they don't let you just unload on them. They're not just going to sit there and just be like, just unload all your angers on me and stuff. They will work with you and say, hey, what are you struggling with? What do you need help with? And then you guys can just kind of talk through it. It's kind of to get something off of your chest. They give you a call once a week and you talk for 20 minutes. They set like, hey, what's your goal? Hey, my goal is to help with, you know, I'm going through this tough time with this scenario or this, you know, this situation. And then they kind of talk you through things. And again, they kind of set goals on how are you going to mitigate this stuff. But also understand that this isn't going to be a different person every time. Once you get hooked up with somebody, unless for some reason it's not working out, then that's your person. You don't have to re-explain yourself every single week on what's going on. You get the same person and they talk with you through things. And again, it's just something to have somebody to talk to. And again, this isn't just all unload on them, all of your angers and stuff. It's just kind of helping you through maybe some of the more troubled times or troubling situations that you might have.
Is it a year or is it?
It is a Wounded Warrior Project employee who's on our mental health team.
So not necessarily.
They might not always be a veteran, but we have a high percentage of veterans on our
They're
on our
highly
staff.
skilled. They usually have experience as chaplains or therapists. They're usually like overskilled, and they just want to continue to give back. And
Yeah.
it's incredible.
And the moment you
I've used it
call, you
twice.
can tell by the tone they talk to you is like, okay, I like this.
Yeah. You
Like
don't
you
like
said,
them?
you guys' experience is better
Yeah.
than me just saying, hey, this is what it is.
I
So
can't say enough good things. It's helped me through some hard times, and I would use it again. And there's no limit on how many times you can use it. It's usually a 15 to 30 minute talk once a week over the course of 6 months. Holds you accountable. I've used it for nutrition, just so someone's like, hey, how's your eating habits going? I'm like, not great this week. You know what? I really made some success. I've used it literally for what we've discussed this weekend, and it's been very helpful.
awesome. Cool. They're not therapists. They definitely go through tons of training and stuff. Again, some of them are veterans. I would almost say most of them are, but I don't want to say all. But a lot of them are, and again, they're highly trained in a lot of things. The next one is Project Odyssey. So Project Odyssey, the easiest way to think about this is it's an adventure-based mental health retreat. So almost think of it as this, but mental health focused and not physical health and wellness. Okay. You go to an in-person event. Usually they're 5 days long. Instead of going to cooking classes, you can do they'll do like rafting or ice climbing or camping or hiking or some sort of outdoor activity, right?
They do have male and female veteran specific ones too.
Yep, exactly. So, but I'll get to that here in a second. You, just like this, you go to the event, you do all the things, you learn things, and then you have follow-up coaching calls with them. So you're going to set goals just like you do here. You're going to talk to somebody once every couple of weeks just like you do here, right? But it's mental health focused. And just as Josh was saying, there's male odysseys, there's female odysseys, there's couples odysseys, there's a whole bunch of different types of odysseys. There's obviously co-ed as well, and they're all over the place. Yeah, what's up, Ken?
Couples odyssey, so this week managed to bring your spouse to.
Correct.
Yes.
We actually have couples expos too.
They're
Yeah.
couples odyssey is actually really good.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you a couple of things here. Is you have to go to essentially a warrior only odyssey before you do a couples odyssey, and you can only do them once every calendar year. Okay, you can only do them once every calendar year. So again, there are some stipulations there. Okay. All right. Now, you guys all know I like to laugh, have a good time, keep things informal, and so forth, right? We have this program called Warrior Care Network. This program is a no bullshit program. If anybody has ever gone through it and you want to share your stories or your advice, go for it. I will not ask anybody to volunteer. You don't have to, because it is a fairly sensitive topic here. This will help you with essentially severe symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, depression, and then like MST. There's other things, TBIs, sorry, that was another one. There are 4 locations around the United States that help us with this. So UCLA, I'm always going to mention them. Is there 5? I thought there was 4.
There's a 5th coming.
Oh, is there a 5th coming? Okay, so Boston, Atlanta, UCLA, and what's the
UCLA, Boston, Atlanta.
Chicago? Thank you. There are Rush in Chicago.
The 5th is home base, but they have a Florida location.
Okay, so got it.
But it's still home base.
All right, so there's 4, essentially 5 of these places, and each one of them specializes in something different. Okay, so I just had somebody in my last cohort. He went to one. He said it was absolutely life-changing. And he's like, if you tell anybody about this and they're like unsure about it, he's like, and they want to talk to somebody who's gone through it, he said, feel free to give them my number and they can talk through it. So, like I said, this is a no BS program. There is no substance use in there. They drug screen you, like they screen you out. If you're not ready to work on whatever it is that you're ready to work on, you're out. Like it is like there's no toleration for any of this, right?
For a TBI too.
Say it.
They'll screen for you for a TBI. You might have one and you didn't clear it. They'll actually do a neurological, the psychological, neurological testing, this could be on CBI.
Yep. So very, very in depth, but again, if you're like, I don't know if I'm ready, but I want to see what this is like. Nope. You need to be ready because it's very intense. They will grill you. They want to get down to the root of the cause of the issue. So just make sure you're ready to work on these things. All right. But again, if you're like, that kind of sounds like something I want to do, but again, I'm not sure, let me know. I can reach out to the warrior that had said he would have no problem talking to anybody and letting them know how it helped him. He can tell you all of his ins and outs. Okay. This is a 2-week, it's a 2-week outpatient program. So this is not like you're in you're in a hotel, right? You're in a hotel, but you're on campus, so you go to these places and stuff. Like this isn't a psych ward, guys. Right? But it is a very intensive program. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. Okay, they're there to help you with what you need to. So, our independence program. Our independence program is for essentially the most severely wounded and ailed individuals. This is like spinal cord injuries, anything. It could be amputations, anything that affects your day-to-day life. That you essentially you can't take care of yourself kind of thing. There are case managers that help you with getting connected to resources and stuff. And it's long-term support. Okay, so this isn't like a 12-week program you go through and you're like, okay,
I'm better.
Yep, I'm better kind of thing, right? So this could be medical conditions that popped up, right? This could be like MS, cerebral palsy, like all of these things that may not be service connected that came later, or it could be service connected, right? So.
Can I ask a question about
yeah,
the
what's up?
previous PTSD event?
Oh, the Warrior Care Network?
Yeah, is how is that set up? I don't know if you mentioned, is it like a program like this where you...
So you go to, those 4 locations I was
Yes.
saying, you go, once you have been given the thumbs up and you've been screened, you fly to that location, we fly you there, and you're there for 2 weeks, and then you essentially go home. So it's 2 weeks long.
And as you said, it's intensive. Okay.
Yeah, it's intensive,
Yeah.
it's outpatient, so I don't want people to say that they're in this, you're essentially not in the facility,
Right.
you're at a hotel, but you're close to it,
Wow.
so.
It's an
That's
IOP
great.
program.
Intensive outpatient, yeah, correct. All right, independence program I just touched on. You guys know physical health and wellness. I'm gonna stop here real quick. You guys know about, this is our flagship program, what you guys are doing right now. On the other side of things, we have in-person events. So if you're near if you're near a brick and mortar office, like in Colorado or something, Erica, she came on one of our ice climbing events. We do like hikes and other things like that. If you are not, we have our alumni team, which I'll talk about in a minute. They travel a lot more than we do to go put on events. They could be physical health and wellness related. There are other things, but we have in-person events, but we also have online educations. Now, I don't know who Jody told about this, but she has an online education. She just opened up the registration for you guys if you guys want to. And the topic is, it's a series of online webinars that every coach kind of does something different. And it's 60 and under 60. So, Jody, you want to explain a little bit about that? I'm going to pull this up real quick.
Absolutely. So the series is called Meal Planning in Under 60. So it's under $60 in under 60 minutes, give or take. Don't quote it exactly. But there's myself and 4 to 5 other coaches that we rotate each month. It's the second Wednesday at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Eastern time. Virtually every single second Wednesday of each month. And what it is we go through the ingredient list. So you get the list to go grocery shopping. We show you exactly what we shopped for and purchased, and then do some cooking demos right in front of you guys to show how simple and easy it is to meal prep for the week. And again, we're trying to keep it on that budget of less than $60, and just showing you some tips and tricks on how to keep it in a timely manner of under 60 minutes, give or take again.
Perfect.
So we'd love to have you guys come. I'm teaching the one next Wednesday.
Yep, so Wednesday, March 13th.
Yep.
If you go into the post, not the outpost, the post, the weekly emails that you guys get on every Tuesday, okay? And you search for this title here. I believe if you want to keep it simple, if it's not coming up here, you can just type in nutrition and it'll pop up. But this is the title here. If you type this in your search bar, you'll get it and then you can register for it. Like I said, the registration closed, but she opened it up for the next couple of days, or is it, yeah?
It'll close on Tuesday, so if you're gonna do it, sign up tomorrow or Tuesday morning sometime.
Yep. So, and if you enjoy it, keep this essentially the title, just meal planning 60/60, and you can type that in and see when the next ones are coming up. Is it usually, it's pretty universal how it's put in, is it?
Yeah, we all use that same
Yep.
meal planning 60/60 and then whatever the topic is after. I'm just doing simple and keeping it simple and nutritious meals.
Yeah.
So for example, that's that one, and then you guys have another one in San Diego on April. Do they all cover different stuff, but sort of the same?
Each one they're usually gonna cover different meals and stuff like that. It's not gonna be the same.
And as far as activities, you were talking about activities, for example.
Like in person?
Right.
Yeah. What about it?
What other activities might be different in different workshops? Or it just depends on
It
what's
depends on
available?
who's putting it on. Like, I mean, again, I put on like a lot of Colorado things, like hiking and ice climbing and rock climbing and, you know, things like that. San Diego could be something like surfing or paddleboarding or, you know, whatever. Again, it's just because the different states have different things, resources available. It's just going to depend on what they have and what the coach, and what vendors allow us to do as well. So, yep, this one is this Wednesday, March 13th.
I would love to see you guys. Don't know if you'd love to see me, but I'd love to see you.
Are you gonna be back in AZ back then?
I will be. And then I will immediately get on a flight and head to New Mexico, so I will be hanging up right after the end of this
She's
possible
doing
video.
the Baton Death March.
So don't ask questions. Yep, no
So
questions.
don't ask questions. Like, oh, I'll call you on the flight. All right, so that's pretty much what we do. Again, you guys, this is the meat and potatoes of our program, is, you know, recruiting for this and doing this. This is obviously a pretty big lift and a big event. And the other things just kind of are other things that we do on a day-to-day. Soldier Ride. Anybody ever done a Soldier Ride? Okay. Okay, perfect. So this is, again, one of our flagship programs. This is an adaptive or non-adaptive cycle ride. Okay, this could, and I'm going to touch on the main Soldier Ride first, and then I'm going to go into their little nuances a little bit. So this is a no man left behind cycling event where everybody moves as one big group, and if you guys want to chime in a second, you can. Everybody starts out at the same time, and if people are slowing down, we slow the whole group down. Right? This is, again, no man left behind.
We don't want him there.
Yeah. Now,
Next thing we're running in the military, the slow ones up front.
yeah. As far
You'll get our
as
asses.
as far as adaptability, they have everything to adapt for whatever needs you may have. Any injury, they have recumbent bikes, upright bikes, obviously normal, road bikes. But we've even had people who have visually impaired, like riders for them too. So they can accommodate absolutely everybody. The other things that they do have mountain bike clinics. So if you want to do mountain biking, they have a skills and drills. So if you just want to learn the basics about how to actually do mountain biking safely and understanding the skills you guys can do, they have a skills camp there, again, mountain biking. And then they also were phasing out, we just had the last one this weekend, is the snow events. So we take people skiing and snowboarding, and essentially do the same thing, get you guys lessons and get you guys taught up and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
But for those, don't you have to be local? They won't.
Nope, they'll fly people in. Yep.
You're not invited.
Yeah. So, anybody want to share anything about Soldier Ride? Be like, no?
I did the snowboarding event.
Yeah.
It was 4-day all-women's trip at Monarch.
This was like 2 weeks ago or a week ago or something.
It was about a month ago.
Was it a month?
As soon as I came back, I got extremely sick.
Oh.
It was a lot of fun.
So chilling, right?
Visiting
Take
all
your plate.
females, they made
Take
sure that
someone's
all the
plate, so
instructors
chill.
were
Yeah.
females, that we were really around people that understood us and our struggles as women, men have their own struggles, so I don't wanna just jump with that.
Just to see how
But
it
they
goes.
were very patient with us, teaching us how to in on a snowboard and
What do you
things like
think?
that.
Just
Like I was really nervous and anxious, so my instructor, she like read up on them. She was with me, she made sure I got off okay, and if I fell down,
Thinking about it now.
which I did,
See you
she
start-
made sure that they
Curious to know
stopped
where
things
we're at.
and like,
I just
it
wanna
was
see it.
super
We'll see how
nice and really,
Throw it out
allowed me to do like if somebody was like,
Out of
"Hey,
everybody,
let's go
out of,
snowboarding,"
out of everybody here,
I'd
you'd be the one to
able
pull
and I
off.
have that confidence.
Enough to be dangerous.
Yeah, you know, I was
Hopefully not
staying
to
a
yourself,
little.
but.
Very inclusive.
I wanted to like go blue diamond, but I was staying like the green square.
No, not this
But
one.
it was able to build my confidence and feel good to go out there and do it.
Totally
And then I
fight
got
the
to, for me, it was my first
People
big
ask,
event,
can't get
and I
answers.
realized that veterans, that I'm not alone. I have struggled so much of thinking my struggles were just me and me alone. And being around other veterans has really showed that I'm not the only one that's up at 3 o'clock in the morning wandering around. I thought I was weird. All my coworkers like, I don't see how you live like that. I'm like, well, that's my norm.
It's so I don't clap, so it's not loud, and it's already
too.
too.
I don't feel so alone with
That's another
my
fun stop.
struggles and my.
I learned it
that's
with
the sense that I'm
Mecha, Movimiento Estudiantil Chicano de Aztlán, California thing. You would know.
Awesome. Good. Cool. So that Soul Drive, again, kind of a multi-tiered different thing. They have different seasons.
27.
Okay, so adaptive sports. Adaptive sports is new but not new. We only have 2 teammates in the whole entire country. One of them sits next to me in the Colorado Springs office, but soon she is actually going to be moving to Boston. She's still staying with the organization, still doing that, but she's still managing the west side of the country from Boston. So, but I'm also kind of like her arm extender, if you will, to help with things on the West Coast, or in Colorado, I should say. But adaptive sports is, as it says, sports tailored to your abilities. Now, there is criteria for meeting this, or for qualifying for this program. Essentially, the latest definition, since they've been playing with a few of them, the latest definition I've heard is essentially if you need altered equipment or altered rules to a sport to participate, not just to win, okay? If you need altered altered equipment or altered rules to just even participate in the sport, you most likely, I'm not saying 100% you will, you most likely will or could qualify for this program. So this could be spinal cord injuries. This could be obviously an amputation. This could be neurological conditions, strokes, MS. All of those things. They do, and it's not. I don't know all of how it's all organized and stuff, but there are sometimes team sports and then sometimes individual sports. Sometimes they have like individual be like rock climbing or something like that, like adaptive rock climbing. Team sports would be wheelchair. Basketball, wheelchair volleyball, rugby, all of those things. There's different sports that they do at each clinic. And it's all around the country. They have adaptive, essentially almost hubs around the country that like specialize in these sports that have all this equipment. And then they let you guys obviously participate in these sports, okay? So that's what adaptive sports is. Now, okay, I'll tell you about alumni. But alumni, I don't take referrals for alumni in particular because you don't need me for this. You can go on the post and search for any sort of alumni event and you can sign up on your own. Again, you don't need me. But what alumni does is essentially, we talked about that, I take people on hikes and rock climbing and all these like activity or active events. These don't necessarily, alumni is more about engagement, just getting people there. They help. They have just warrior only, they have family events, they have you and your spouse, it could be dinner, it could be bowling, it could be a hockey game, a soccer game, it could be welding, candle making, blacksmithing, right? Like all of these things that could be, I just call them really the fun guys because they can literally do anything under the sun that gets people there, gets people engaged and connecting with each other. That's the whole point, okay? But again, you don't need me to do that. You can search on the post what's coming up near you, because like I said, they travel a lot more than we do. So just because you're not near a brick and mortar doesn't mean you can't have an event near you. All right. So again, you don't need a referral for this, but peer support. This is an extension of alumni, and they, excuse me. peer support groups is essentially a veteran, and they put on little events for you guys to come, and they're kind of our extenders, if you will. Again, if you're not near a brick and mortar, and I'm just gonna say, like, if I'm in like really rural California or Montana or something where we're really far away, you're really far away from things, these peer support leaders can put on their own events. Like, we allow them to do it. We pick up the bill for everything. They put on their own events, so they can put on community events where you're not close to a brick and mortar facility, or if we can't get to that. Okay, Alaska was a big one, trying to reach people in Fairbanks and Anchorage and stuff like that. They're putting on, again, things like hockey games and hikes and like trail cleanup and things like that. But it also could be just a dinner. They put on a dinner for you guys to come and chat, and they have some like things to talk about. They have like an agenda to talk about things with you guys, right? So a lot of different things that they do. If you would like to be like a peer support leader, or you're like, hey, do I have one in my area? You can let me know to ask our alumni team to get you in contact with somebody nearest to you. You can do that. But again, this is kind of what you would write down. Is you would write down peer support, like, is there a peer support group in my area? And then give me your area so I can put it in the referral. And then I can send that to my alumni people. They can get in contact with you and say, hey, the closest people that we have to you is X, Y, and Z. Okay? All right, only a couple more here. Warriors to work. So this will help with resume building, interview skills, salary negotiation. I think I said resume building already. But just anything making a transition either into a new job or to another job or something like that. If you need help searching for things, they'll help you with that. I can't stress enough, they do not get you the job. It's not like, hey, I got this, Janetta over here, she needs a job. Here you go, here's your job, right? They help you because one of our big core values is empowering you, not enabling you, right? Empowering and enabling is two different things. Because at a certain point, you should be able to do it on your own, or hopefully we can empower you to do it on your own as well, right? So enabling you is I'm just gonna do it for you, and then you're essentially reliant on me, okay? We want to empower you to feel like you have the confidence to do it on your own as well. Because again, you have to go and you have to do the salary negotiations, you have to do your resume, like you have to do the interviews. Yeah.
Sit in the back.
I feel like Step Brothers.
Step Brothers,
Who's that guy in the back?
And then you can be like,
Hello.
I got you back, John.
Yeah, I got you back, John. Yes, so it's essentially career coaching, guys. All right. And then last one here is financial education. So financial education is essentially talking to you about like, how do I improve credit score? Investing. We have a partnership with Prudential where they can set you up with financial advisors with them and talk to you about that, budgeting, and stuff like that. I'm actually partnering with financial education about, I think mine's going to be nutrition. And like, we're going to talk about a lot of the stuff we talked about today. But then I'll get to collaborate with somebody from financial education to talk about budgeting, right? It's like, okay, great. I go in with a list. But then what should my budget be? Or how do I carve out a nutrition budget? Like, what does that look like, right? So that would be their piece of things.
Do they help with student loans, like trying to figure out that? Trying to get
like debt consolidation.
Yeah, just the student loans and then like all that.
You can put it down. Do you guys know if they help with like?
If you have student loans, they should be able to erase them, because if you had 100%,
I'm at 80% and I'm at 161,000 in student loans.
Yeah, I don't think that
you might want to check with your counselor, because it's 10% and above when you start getting the Chapter 31, for example. I don't know if you're on that one or GI Bill.
What about I had GI Bill.
That's only if we had it before.
Yeah. So if you guys switch to Chapter 31, for example, if you have the GI Bill, you can switch to.
Post 9/11 as well.
So you can switch it to Chapter 31, which gives you more coverage in school, more full tuition, books, parking, etc.
I just need help with paying.
And in addition, they look into what loans you have, and they might be able to erase them.
What do I do with that?
Talk to call the education. No, VRE, veterans. Yes.
Okay.
Financial education isn't going to help you pay your student loans, if that goes back to answer that question.
Right.
But they can help educate on the best way to like create payment plans and that type of stuff and how to navigate that side of it. But they won't give money
Yeah, they.
for.
It's not like,
Sell
oh, here's
Yeah.
here's a check.
Yeah.
But if you're still going to
Plug it
school,
away.
No, I just
switch
don't
it.
know what programs are out there to help you pay for it.
Yeah.
161,000.
But if you're still going to school, switches to veterans. I always forgot it. Vocational.
Vocational, yeah.
VRE, and the VRE should be able to look into it and get rid of those loans.
There you go.
To the financial education stuff, do they do any, events like,
They'll do.
webinars or whatnot?
Yep, they do. Yep, so they'll have like webinars about budgeting and credit scores and kind of how we do things about fitness, nutrition, sleep and stuff. They do the same thing. When you guys go on the post, and I'm not sure,
5, 6,
I'm not
8
gonna
in
speak
school.
to this, maybe you guys are the
And
but if
with time-
there are 3 events on the post, like ours used to have a little emblem like this, and ours used to be like an arm flexing, which kind of shows that's a physical health and wellness event. If there's a calculator, again, I'm not saying that this is
And
it,
even
you
for
can
the
filter
review,
things
you
out by like
have
alumni
reviews.
or physical health and wellness or whatever it is. If there's a calculator next to it, that means it's a
But
financial
school does
education
really
event,
milk it.
right? So you can tell what
See,
team puts it
I
on.
was told that the
Okay, you can
education
filter out by
benefits,
area,
unless
obviously
you're
topic,
100%,
you can filter out by
you can't
team,
transfer it once you're
you
out.
can filter out by
I
all
was
of that
told
stuff.
you have to be active duty.
Okay,
I was told that if you're just a regular vet,
all
you
right.
have to transfer before you get out of active duty.
I mean, that would be a compulsion for